Welcome to Leading Organizations That Matter, a podcast about leadership and how we find impact, integration, meaning, and joy in our work. I'm Ray Spadoni, and today's topic is It Helps to Love What You Create. In last week's podcast episode, I drew a lesson from photography and applied it to career and life planning and got a nice response from my audience. So I thought I'd stick with the theme for one more week. As I described in that episode, I've been making images for a long time, but truth be told, it has only been more recently that I have actually begun creating images worth writing home about. Going back in time, I made some nice postcard-style landscape photographs, and I put them up on a website, and that was fun. My work was, to be blunt, incredibly average. But I figured out something along the way. While I loved making images, I'm not sure I always loved the images themselves. Let me explain. For decades, if someone asked me this question, how are you trying to improve your photography? I would have said things like, I got a new camera. I'm getting better at Photoshop, or I'm going on a cool trip to some faraway exotic location. In other words, I talked about the process of making photographs, but I never actually talked about photography, about what I was going to do to improve how I created, and nothing about what I wanted to create and why. That thing I've discovered more recently, and get ready to roll your eyes, you artists out there, but I learned that I needed to fall in love with images so that I could make better images. Instead of cameras, software, and destinations, I began to look at images I liked and then try to figure out why I liked them. I started to think about things like movement, emotion, texture, story, contrast, juxtaposition, irony, and more. And wouldn't you know it, I think my images started getting much better. I found out that it helps to love what you create. I've been relating this to my leadership coaching work. Some people plan their careers, make job changes, accept or reject opportunities as they arise, and even plot out their days, weeks, months, and entire lives based on process, technique, and the typical indicators of success, such as prestige and money. I'm not going to argue that anyone should totally ignore prestige and money, but when that's all that matters, then I believe that that is what's reflected in the end result, in the total summation of a career and someone's ultimate satisfaction with it. And more often than not, there is regret expressed in those stories. Whenever I coach someone who understands the work that's being done and values that work in and of itself, okay, I'll say it, actually loves it, then that becomes a critical part of their motivation matrix. It elevates their happiness quotient, to quote the researcher Martin Seligman. So I ask you, do you love what you create? Do you love how you spend your time doing it? Do you love the people with whom you do the work? Sounds kind of corny, I know, but in my experience, just as artists who love the images they create better images, I've seen that leaders who love the work that they do end up having a more impactful, meaningful, and joy-filled career and life. Thanks for listening. Leaving a positive review and letting others know about this podcast will help a great deal. My mission is to help empower organizations that matter by supporting those who lead them. I offer coaching, mentoring, and consulting services. You can learn more about me and my work at rayspadoni.com.